Hi, this is Dr. Gina Macris, and I've been a massage therapist for 36 years. And I thought to myself, what if you've never gotten one and you need to know what it's about, or how will you know if you're in the right place? How do you feel about it? This is not a hotel, this is a private little office, but I'm going to give you some things that you need to know if you get one on a cruise ship, at a hotel, when you're traveling, or just in your local town. How do you know who to go to? And here are the things that are absolutes. That means it absolutely has to happen. And the first thing is you should have some sort of privacy when you're walking in. So this is the entrance to my little office. This is a privacy screen. I can draw it across like that. And then I go over here and get a glass of water. While they're getting undressed, I get a cup of tea, wash my hands. It's always good if you hear them washing their hands. If they're coming in and out of the room and they haven't done that, we don't know. We don't know. Did they just go at a hotel to get new sheets? Did they go to the bathroom? You want to make sure their hands are clean. Second of all, there should be some sort of licensing. Those are my degrees from colleges, but there should be some sort of items on the wall that says license or certification. There are only 5 states in the United States that do not have a massage license. I'm in Minnesota, we don't have one. Might I say, that's criminal. And you should be very suspect when you get a massage in those states, excluding, of course, California, where they're never going to get licensed because there's just too many people. I come from the California community. But let's look at Vermont, Wyoming, Minnesota, Kansas. It's way beyond that. So this is my city license for Rochester, Minnesota. This just says for the National Certification Board that I'm an approved provider to teach continuing education. Because I've been doing this 36 years, this says that I'm nationally certified. Now, you don't need to be. Is it overkill? No, I'm a geek and nerd and I love degrees. So here's what has to happen. So there has to be some sort of license, okay? In the other 5 states, you want some sort of certification. If not, you need to know have they had some training. They're putting their hands on your body. If you have any medical conditions, you're on particular medications like you're diabetic, or you're on heart medications like Coumadin, it's critical that they have some training. Here's my little chair. That's it. Doesn't need to be any big rocket science. We all have different versions. That little stool can be for their feet. When a client is coming in, I put a little jar on there for their watches and things. I don't put it out all the time because my cat swipes it away. But they can sit there. They can put their clothes here. Traditionally, we have things. I have my bones there because I'm a chiropractor. There's my chiropractic license. I do educate people on bones, or for shoulders or hips. I can pull one out and show them. My creams, we all have sort of decorative. My essential oils are down there, a Kleenex, you can see a clock. It's good to have a visible clock. I'm always suspect when you can't see a clock because it means the therapist is fudging by a few minutes. If you have a 1-hour appointment, you get 60 minutes. They get the hit of how much time it takes to turn the table, wash their hands, put new sheets on, say goodbye to you, maybe write a quick note and greet the new customer. So that's usually a 15 to 20 minute turnaround. But my creams are out there, a little salt lamp. I like to keep mine hidden just because I don't like everything out, but it's totally appropriate to have all the creams and oils and lotions. You'll see we all have a little bit of decoration. I have a little salt lamp, those kinds of things. And then here's the massage table. Now, a couple things about this. There's many layers. Let me turn the light back on. There's many layers here. I've got a sheet, a blanket, and then a bottom sheet with a face cradle. The beautiful thing in massage is that you're face down. We never get face down. We always have to torque your neck and crank it, which is half the reason people come here. They look wrinkled only because they're bamboo sheets. They're hard to keep. And then I have a beautiful cotton sheet, and you get under the covers. We leave the room. So that's the next piece. It's absolutely mandatory that we leave the room when you get undressed. So you can't, clients say things like, oh, don't worry, I'm not modest, I've had 5 kids, or oh, don't worry. Or guys will just sort of drop their drawers thinking, well, it's okay. It's not okay. The therapist must leave the room when you disrobe and when you put your clothes back on. And then you say to the client, Cover yourself up. Let me know when you're on the table and I'll come back in. Sometimes you have them crack the door, sometimes whatever. You knock, or we say, I'm going to knock on the door and you let me know. But when I walk in this room and I look at the table, I start the client face down in the face cradle. Some clients start face up. I don't know why, but I don't want to see anything but the back of your neck. Now, I may come in and help you. I may put this blanket on, okay? Then we usually give you a bolster, which is a pillow for under your feet. We want to lift the ankles up so that there's a relaxed calf and thigh. And then we come over here. Usually we're going to bring the blanket up and cover you more, depending, right? If somebody, for example, with a female client says, oh, I don't need any covers, I get really hot. No, you always have to be covered. Now, if you're doing a sports massage, or you're doing ashiatsu, which is when we use our feet, we're standing way up high on bars and we're sort of dancing on your back with our feet. Absolutely exquisite craft. You may just have on sports shorts, and that's okay. If you're a guy, we can just work with the shorts because I'm not seeing any private parts. There should never, ever, in any massage room, ever be your genitals or your breasts. On a man that's face up when you're doing the pecs, we usually drape above the nipple line. If you've got a sporty guy, and we agree to it, but here's the caveat, because there's people allowing this. If a client says, will you work my abdomen or will you work my belly? Maybe it's a woman after childbirth, maybe it's a guy that's crunching a lot, or tradesmen who get groin strain a lot from abdomen down. You have to have the breast drape on a woman. That's a whole nother technique. It's a very important technique. A woman's breasts are never, under any circumstances, allowed out. A guy's can, but that's it. You never, ever see a male genital. We're tucking that drape so tight, it's like Armageddon, can't get in. And it should be very clear. It's a clear boundary, shouldn't be willy-nilly. We do that for privacy reasons, for the law, and to make a person feel safe. How many places can we go in the world where you're touched in a safe way? So for the people who are abused and for those of us who are assault and rape survivors, it's really important that we feel comfortable on the table. So there are some techniques where when we take the sheet and we're doing the glutes, which is your buttocks, right? Yes, fancy that. You sit on it half the day. So we're going to do that. We're going to take the sheet and drape it across the top of your thigh. Some people actually allow the cheek to come out. We'll do that in another video. I'll put a human being on the table and show you the drape. So look forward to that one. I'm going to put another video up there about how to set up a perfect table if you're a new therapist. I work with 100% cotton all the time, but we'll talk about that and some oils. And then if you have any questions about visibility or how to set up your room, yes, mine is simple, but I've learned over the years, you don't need anything. You don't need anything. Okay, so that's our first video. I look forward to your comments and questions. Thanks.